Welcome to video 7. Before we jump into creating our template object, I wanted to talk for a minute about coding style guides. Every time I do a new tutorial series, I try to make it a little bit better than the last one I'd done, so I thought that discussing and using a coding style guide in this series was something that I could add. A coding style guide is similar to a writing style guide. It's a set of recommendations for how your code is styled and what it visually looks like. It covers things like how variables are named, white space versus tabs, return values on functions, and how brackets are displayed. For this series, I'm going to be using CodeIgniter's style guide, available at codeigniter.com/user_guide/general/styleguide.html. There are a huge number of style guides out there, and I'm not arguing that one is specifically better than the other. This just happens to be the one that I'm most familiar with. However, I am arguing that using a style guide is useful and can be a significant time saver, especially for larger projects. Having a style guide helps reduce inconsistencies in your code, ensuring that if multiple people are working on a single project, there shouldn't be a significant difference in the way code appears between two of them. I've often run into the situation where I need to modify an old project. Having a style guide could save me a little bit of time trying to remember how I named my variables or functions and potentially cut down on errors I could accidentally introduce into the code. I'd suggest you pause the video and take a look at the CodeIgniter style guide just to get a feel for what it suggests. A couple things that you might want to note include talking about the PHP closing tag. If the file is entirely PHP, you don't necessarily need to have a closing tag on it, so I'm going to follow this specific style in terms of my files. Similar thing with class and method naming. Classes should always start with an uppercase letter, and both classes and variable names, if you have spaces, use an underscore rather than using camel case. A couple other things. I'm going to be using this doc block style of commenting in my code, and I'll also try to be commenting it throughout so you can get an idea of what I'm doing, and it makes it a little bit easier to come back to it and understand what the code is doing in the future. Feel free, if you have areas in the code you're a little bit unsure about, add extra comments in there to help them help explain those to you a little bit better. In addition, let's see what else. Constants are named all uppercase, which is what I've been doing in the previous videos. True, false, and null keywords should be fully uppercase. If we're going to use or, they suggest you actually using uppercase O and R rather than the traditional two dividers. And if you use not, make sure you add a space before and after. So I'm not going to go over all of these in great detail, that's why I suggest you take a look at them yourself. But keep in mind, this is what I'm going to be trying to follow as we go through these videos. I can't guarantee I'm going to be absolutely perfect in following this guide, but I'll do my best. And hopefully that's going to increase the quality and consistency of my code over the scope of the entire project.